Welcome to Xiao Voice. Continuing from the previous episode 194. Even Xiao Dan was involuntarily startled when he saw that Xiao Yan had really ended up agreeing to this bet. A cold smile involuntarily spread over his face. You are indeed bold. After laughing with a voice that appeared to either be filled with ridicule or praise, Xiao Dan turned his head and respectfully said to the gray-clothed, old man, Honorary Elder Ku, please leave this matter to me. The gray-clothed, old man nodded his head without any change in expression upon hearing this. However, he let out a sigh of relief within his heart. The cool eyes of the little fairy doctor had caused him to form goosebumps. It was not as though he had never heard of the reputation of the woeful poison body. However, it was indeed the first time that he had seen a woeful poison body that had reached the strength of the Do Zoom class. Just step back. After seeing the gray-clothed, old man step back, Xiao Dan turned his body to those behind him, and waved his hand. That group of people hurriedly pulled back and immediately created an empty space in the front yard. Mr. Xiao Yan, you really intend to compete in terms of playing with fire with him? Yi Zhang hesitated for a moment after seeing what was unfolding. Finally, he could not help but ask in a soft voice. Xiao Dan's reputation when it came to playing with fire was really incredible. Even though Xiao Yan was also a Tier 7 alchemist, it was a little risky if it was merely a competition in terms of fire manipulation. Xiao Yan tilted his head. It was naturally best that he could use a method that involved the least effort to get rid of this people. Oh, since Mr. Xiao Yan insists, we'll do as you say. Yi Zhang could only bitterly smile and nod his head after seeing that he was unable to change Xiao Yan's mind. He immediately reminded, the faint black flame in Yi Zhang's hand is an extremely powerful beast flame. It is rumored that the Xiao clan spent a great amount of effort in order to obtain it from the body of a rank 8 magical beast. Its strength is extremely great. Although it cannot be compared with a heavenly flame, an ordinary flame would have difficulty contending against it. Xiao Yan did not feel surprised upon hearing this. He had already sensed that the faint black flame was quite strong when it had appeared. Yi Zhang waved his hand after reminding Xiao Yan. Everyone slowly pulled back and left a spacious area for the two of them. The smile on Xiao Dan's face became denser when everyone withdrew. He slowly took a step forward and flicked his finger. The faint black-colored flame on his hand immediately surged. It wiggled above his head and formed a faint black, large eagle. The flame appeared strange as it burned due to its dark and dense appearance. This flame of mine is called the Dark Demon Flame. It was obtained from the body of the Dark Sky Three-Headed Lion, a rank 8 magical beast. The black-colored fire eagle lingered over Xiao Dan's head. It emitted a sharp eagle cry. There was some pride in Xiao Dan's eyes when he introduced his flame. This dark demon flame might not be comparable to a heavenly flame, but its might was also spectacular. Back then, the Xiao clan had spent a great amount of effort in order to obtain this flame. Xiao Yan's eyes glanced at the large, black eagle. He slightly nodded. There was indeed a reason why this fellow was arrogant. An ordinary alchemist was unable to compare with this Xiao Dan, who was able to control his flame with such familiarity. Unfortunately for him, manipulating fire was a speciality of Xiao Yan, especially after he had practiced the flame creation skill. Xiao Yan's control over fire had already reached a pinnacle level. If Yao Lao were to see Xiao Yan's current flame control, it was likely that Yao Lao would definitely praise him. This bet was something Xiao Dan thought was going to be easy to win. However, he did not infer that this would also be Xiao Yan's speciality. Xiao Yan flicked his finger and a wisp of a green-colored flame slowly rose from its tip. After which, it left the tip of his finger and soared with the wind. It swiftly transformed into a large fire wolf that howled at the sky. The wolf howl continued to linger in the air of the entire city. This green-colored flame was naturally the green lotus core flame. If it came to playing with fire, Xiao Yan was more familiar with manipulating the green lotus core flame. The temperature slowly rose after the green-colored fire wolf appeared. The eyes of Xiao Dan abruptly shrank. His eyes greedily glanced at the fire wolf. It is indeed a heavenly flame. The rumors are true. This brat possesses a heavenly flame. However, one cannot merely rely on the strength of a flame when playing with fire. Possessing a heavenly flame does not mean he can win. Xiao Dan licked his lips as he coldly laughed in his heart. His finger suddenly pointed at the fire wolf over Xiao Yan's head. Immediately, the black fire eagle emitted a loud eagle cry as it glided over the sky. After which, it emitted a swoosh sound as it cut through the air and rushed toward the fire wolf with lightning-like speed. Howl! The green-colored wolf merely let out a long howl in the face of the fire eagle's attack. After which, its back shook and a pair of fire wings extended from it. The wings were flapped as it widened its ferocious mouth and violently collided with the fire eagle. Flames shot in all directions as the two ruthlessly pounced on each other, biting at the other party in an uncontrolled manner. The flames over their bodies were eroding the other party without due care for their lives. Everyone below was a little amazed as they looked at the wild snapping of the two fire beasts. They had seen fights between Doqi, but a fight between flames was rarely seen. The two fire beasts wildly bit at each other in the sky, but they were also unusually agile. They flipped their bodies and leapt all around. An ordinary expert would not be able to catch them. Everyone clearly understood that this was due to their control over their flames. If it was someone with weaker skill, there was no need to even discuss forming a fire beast and fighting with another. It was likely that just maintaining the form of the beast would have exhausted all of their spiritual strength. Wisps of flames continued to drift from the sky as the two fire beasts fought each other. After which, they slowly scattered. Xiao Yan placed both of his hands behind him. His eyes focused on the fight in the sky. All it took was a thought of his to control the fire beast. This kind of fight was a contention between the strength of their spiritual strength. Compared with Xiao Yan's free and easy attitude, Cao Dan's face appeared a little more solemn. During the first exchange between the fire beasts, he had come to an understanding that he had met with a tough opponent this time around. The other party's control of the fire beast and the degree of reality of the fire beast were not inferior. If this continues, the dark sky demon flame will not be able to hold out against the heavenly flame. Cao Dan slightly frowned as he watched the flame of the black eagle become paler during the fight in the sky. A moment later, he let out a cold laugh. He rubbed his storage ring and a fiery red jade bottle appeared in his hand. He opened the cap of the bottle and a bright blood-like flame exited it. After which, Cao Dan bit his middle finger and a drop of blood fell into it. So what if you possess a heavenly flame? Can you defend against two of my flames? An intense ripple immediately formed on the cluster of bright blood-like flames after the fresh blood dripped into it. Under Cao Dan's control, it transformed into a blood-red hound. Its blood-red eyes contained a cold luster. Its four paws stepped on the ground as it charged into the battle in the sky. Together with the black eagle, it wildly bit at the fire wolf, tearing apart the green-colored flame on the wolf's body with each bite. Waves of uproars immediately sounded within the courtyard when everyone witnessed this scene. Those from the Cao clan let out a cheer while those from the Yi clan faced each other, appearing to be somewhat quiet as they did so. They did not expect Cao Dan to be able to control multiple flames at once. It should be known that each type of flame required a great amount of spiritual strength. If one controlled two types of flames, the rate of exhaustion would be increase. Additionally, one had to multitask. Hence, there were very seldom any alchemists who possessed the ability to control multiple flames. It seemed that Yi Zong's warning was not without reason since Cao Dan had an outstanding talent in flame manipulation. Xiao Yan also slightly knit his brows because of this scene. He faintly said, "There are two flames." Quote, after uttering these words, the fire wolf being controlled by his mind agilely dodged. Its ferocious mouth mercilessly crunched down on the black eagle and hound. For an instant, the sky was chaotic as flames randomly flew in all directions. Yi Zong's group sighed in relief when they saw the fire beast, which Xiao Yan had created, swiftly defeating its opponents. It was indeed worthy of being a heavenly flame. If it was some other flame, it was likely that it would have been torn into pieces by the two fire beasts. Cao Dan frowned when he saw the fire wolf, created from a heavenly flame, was this strong. A ruthless expression flashed across his eyes. He waved his hands and two more jade bottles appeared in front of him. Their caps were opened. A gray and a purple flame soared out of the bottles. Even Yi Zong's expression on the Yi clan's side had turned a little pale when he saw the two clusters of flames appearing. He did not expect Cao Dan to reach a stage where he could control four types of flames at the same time. This was something that even he had to admit that he was unable to achieve. HMPH, playing fire with me. If you weren't relying on the heavenly flame, you would not even be able to last one exchange against me. Xiao Dan coldly laughed. Another 2 drops of blood entered the 2 clusters of flames. Immediately, the 2 clusters of flames transformed into fire beasts that charged forward. After which, they surrounded the green-colored fire wolf. Under the attacks of the 4 fire beasts from all directions, even the fire wolf, formed from a heavenly flame, was unable to endure. By controlling 4 types of flames, their combined attack was indeed very strong. However, it was obvious that this was the limit of Xiao Dan. One could tell this from the pale whiteness on his face. Xiao Yan, playing with fire does not merely rely on quality. Quantity is also very important. You should remember this in your heart when you compete with others in the future. The smile on Xiao Dan's face became richer as he watched the fire wolf being defeated. His eyes swung to Xiao Yan as he involuntarily laughed in a somewhat pleased tone. Xiao Yan faintly glanced at him. Immediately, he laughed, "Thank you for your reminder, young Master Xiao Dan. Since this is the case, I shall win with quantity." After uttering such instigating words, Xiao Yan flicked his finger. 10 jade bottles appeared, after which, a boom sounded, and they burst apart. After the 10 jade bottles broke, 10 clusters of flames of various lusters slowly rose in front of numerous stunned eyes. After which, they wiggled for a moment before transforming into 10 ferocious fire beasts. These flames were all beasts' flames. They were nourishment that Xiao Yan had obtained for the life-transforming flame. However, now that he possessed the core bead, the beast's flames had lost their purpose. It was unexpected that he was able to use them now. Xiao Yan's eyes alighted upon Xiao Dan's face, which had turned dull almost instantly. The corner of his mouth contained ridicule. You can only control 4 types of flames, yet you dare to come out and compete with others in terms of flame manipulation?